I knew once you got a little taste of it, you'd be back. God bless you. Today I want to go over a few things, but first of all, I've been inundated with people going, who are you? Where'd you come from? What's the deal? Why do you believe the way you believe? How could you possibly? Well, this isn't about me. This is about Bamboo Bob. Bamboo Bob is a conservative character, all right? Years ago, I sat around, I listened to the radio, I watch the news, I'm a news junkie. And I thought, you know, how are you ever going to get in touch with today's youth if everybody's wearing an Armani suit, they've got their hair cut straight out of Mayberry, and I'm thinking, wait a minute, you're not relating to kids like that. The other side's got, you know, the idiots from Malibu, and trust me, I know all about Malibu. And everything they do, they just fall right in line, whatever they say. What do we have on our side? We've got nothing. Those of us that are thinking people, and that actually process events as they come across, we're different. We don't need any of this, but we have a large number of people that are watching Dancing with the Stars or My Favorite Fatty or whatever the next realistic TV show is. They're not following anything. Unless it's a 30-second soundbite, they have no idea what's going on. Well, now they're subjected to who is doing the soundbite and what their agenda is. Well, the way I look at it, Bamboo Bob really needs to try to get the image out there that it's okay. You can be very cool, you can be very hip, and you can have conservative views. Now, you don't have to be a religious nut. You don't have to be an uptight conservative person and not enjoy yourself. No, that's not what this land was established to be. This is supposed to be the land of freedom. We're supposed to have liberty. And those of you that believe in God, I was under the impression that God gave us free will and choice. Nobody's supposed to tell you what your religious beliefs are supposed to be. You're supposed to come upon that on your own. Hopefully you had a family that raised you with good standards and morals, and hopefully that's important to you. I happen to believe that it is. But for those of you that don't, good luck in your search through life. I know that Mother Earth is not supposed to be our God. It's to be respected, but it's not to be worshipped. I think basically what I want to try to get across at this point is everything that I base my opinion on and my philosophy on, I've had personal experience with, whether it's people from other countries, being in other countries, being in business, working for business, the educational experiences, just dealing with people on the far left coast, and the hypocrisy that I see. When I hear Al Gore preach to me about the environment, and he hops on his private jet, and whenever we were supposed to have lights out night, and I've got footage of his whole house being lit up there in Tennessee. I see Green Week at NBC, and what is that? GE's got a deal to do all this energy efficient stuff. So, you know, everybody's got an agenda. It's just how are they going to implement it, all right? From doing charity work and trying to establish a little 501c3 nonprofit versus the established charities that all their costs are being eaten up in administrative fees and all the high salaries instead of people that truly believe in something. Government trying to run businesses, and we know how efficient that can be. There's just, over the course of time, as events unfold, I will be very specific on examples of what I've experienced myself and how it applies to the way you need to look at things. Not just from my experience, but from other people's experiences too. I'm going to be dealing with other people and sharing some of their experiences, but for right now, we've got to get you on board as far as what kind of process this is going to be and what this organization is going to turn out to be. Now, Bamboo Bob is not married, does not have any children, and comes back from that mailbox every Father's Day empty-handed and couldn't be happier about that. I love kids. All my family and all my friends that have kids, they'll tell you, I love kids. It just hasn't been in the cards for me. I've been through terrible things in my life. I've done terrible things to people. Things I'll spend the rest of my life, and who knows if I'll ever be forgiven for things that I've done. The main purpose of this is to try to educate people in an informative manner, to entertain if I possibly can, and not put you to sleep. And if somebody's next to you needs to wake you up right now, look to your left and give them a nudge. But I really want to try to make a difference. To me, making a difference in the world doesn't necessarily mean that you have a blood relative child that you had to leash out into the world. That's your only mark. I know there's other ways to leave a mark, and I've got to make a difference. I happen to be white trash with money, minus the money. I happen to have been many places, known many people that most people never get the opportunity to meet. I've been very fortunate. I've also experienced many bad things and many downfalls. But you know what? That's the difference in a liberal and a conservative. If I was a lib, I'd still be sitting there waiting on the mail to run to get my check, and I'd be moaning about whoever was in office. Difference is, conservatives, it doesn't matter. The only job that is beneath doing is the one you can't get. And I'm tired of hearing about jobs Americans won't do. Now, if somebody's hungry, they're going to work. If we stop sending them money to sit at home and watch Oprah, people are going to need to eat. Now, we need to have a spot in this country, and we need to have a place in our hearts for people that are victims, people that cannot do for themselves, people that there's just no way that they can find the means to get themselves out of a situation. We need to help these people. But when I'm looking at grown men, third and fourth generation, perfectly healthy, that have no concept of hitting the time clock, no concept of a work ethic, no concept of what it's like to have a boss come around and say, is this done yet? If you don't get it done by such and such, there's not going to be any green for you at the end of the week. In the old days, green meant money. It didn't mean a social movement. So I want you guys to come back again. I want to hear your comments on this. As time goes on, I'm going to be getting very coarse in some of the things that I deal with. I'm not afraid of anything. You don't mess with a man that's got nothing to lose. So, the one thing I want you to remember is, as much as you think things are going bad, you come back to BambooBobShow.com and it's a beautiful thing.